Imagine an alien signal traveling through space at the speed of light. A radio telescope picks up the signal. Astronomers check until they're absolutely sure it's the real thing. That morning, people get to work, turn on their computers, click onto our newest mass medium, the internet. And then comes the news. Astronomers have made a mind-boggling discovery.
We are not alone in the universe.
There will be a tremendous number of people trying to figure out all the information that we can from that signal. One of the big questions is, should we respond?
Any civilization we contact will be much more advanced than we are. There are those who feel it will cause a planet-wide inferiority complex.
There will be a percentage of people who will become distraught. These people might need a fair amount of support and help to get through the situation.
And it could be important because we get information from advanced civilizations. Clearly, that would affect us. I mean, we might short-circuit, 100,000 years of human history and jump into the future thanks to the beneficence of these aliens who want to tell us stuff. I mean, that could happen.
The differences between alien intelligence and humans is going to be vast. So vast that I think it fundamentally will change everything.
Day and night, around the world, a determined band of scientists listens to the sky. In hope, they seek signals from other worlds, evidence of mysterious alien civilizations. They call their ambitious quest SETI, shorthand for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. The novel Contact by the celebrated astronomer Carl Sagan is a fictional account of how the world would respond to the first confirmed message from outer space. Contact moved SETI from relative obscurity to front-page news. Sagan based the book's central character in part on the real-life Dr. Jill Tarter. She's a principal investigator at the SETI Institute in Mountain View, California. Tarter believes the search for extraterrestrial intelligence satisfies an ancient yearning.
People really want to know, are we alone? I mean, that question is not something that we woke up 2 months ago and started asking. Humans have asked that question at least as long as recorded history. But now, there's something very different about right now today. And that's that for the first time ever, we actually now have the technology to try and do something to answer this whole question.
The question of alien life beyond Earth becomes urgent in the 19th century. Astronomer Percival Lowell is convinced that on the planet Mars he has observed an elaborate system of artificially engineered canals. His accounts create a sensation.
These were interpreted by Lowell as made by intelligent beings to keep agriculture alive on a dying planet. So we have these civil or agricultural engineers on Mars trying to keep things going. These views became accepted by some people, scoffed at by others, but what the human reaction was in that case was to figure out how we ourselves could signal our presence to the Martians.
The means to make contact seemed to arrive with the discovery of electromagnetic radio waves. Nikola Tesla, an eccentric pioneer of electronics, built an enormous transmitter in Colorado and blasted radio static toward Mars.
It was 150 feet tall. and was powered by one of his powerful transformers. And when he turned this thing on, people's hair stood on end for miles around. It was spectacular. He sent messages expecting a response, and he thought he got responses.
Though convinced he was hearing Martian salutations in return, what Tesla really picked up were a natural phenomenon called whistlers. Strange waves produced by electricity in the atmosphere. In 1920, the great Guglielmo Marconi, inventor of the first successful radio, followed Tesla's example and pointed his own receiver at the red planet and heard absolutely nothing. 4 years later, when Mars was in particularly close proximity to Earth, the United States Navy silenced all its radio transmitters in the Pacific for 3 days. They were still hoping, in vain, to detect a cosmic hello from Mars. Over the next 25 years, as telescopes became more sophisticated and precise, the belief in Martian civilization all but disappeared. The canals, it seems, aren't massive artificial irrigation ditches after all, but arid Grand Canyons. But at the same time, astronomers were realizing the staggering enormity of the universe. How many trillions of stars there are, the potential for planets revolving around them, planets that just might support life. There were still those who believed that radio was the stepping stone to talking with the stars. The space race spurred fierce competition to be the first to receive a signal from another world. Within a few years, Soviet astronomers declared victory. Discovery of a steady signal that indicated a distant alien civilization. Strangely rhythmic radio transmissions, such as never heard before, were coming from a celestial body they designated CTA-102. Everyone's excitement proved premature. What the Russians actually had found was in fact coming from what's called a quasar. They weren't hearing a big hello from the heavens, but natural radio pulses from the nucleus of a young, faraway galaxy. Undaunted, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence plunged ahead. In 1967, British astronomers announced a precisely timed radio signal coming from 4 separate places in the sky. They dubbed them LGM 1 through 4. LGM stood for Little Green Men. Another false alarm. In truth, they had discovered pulsars, dying stars that naturally emit radio pulses. No little green men, but the search was adding constantly to our knowledge of the universe. Since Frank Drake's first experiments in the early 60s, SETI has become accepted by the scientific community as a legitimate and important part of the research landscape. More than 60 projects around the world have concentrated on picking up that first otherworldly signal.
It's one of the few modern science experiments that just about everybody can understand. SETI is a fairly sophisticated endeavor. This is a hard thing to do, but everybody understands what it's about. It's very simple what it's about. We're simply trying to find out if there's anything intelligent out there. So it's an accessible kind of science.
I think I've got the best job in the entire world. I mean, I learn something new every day on a huge range of different topics because there's almost nothing that doesn't bear on this question about the probability of life somewhere else in the universe. I certainly have a lot of colleagues who would not choose to do this job because there's no guaranteed payoff.
For a short time in the early 1990s, SETI received money from NASA, but a budget-slashing Congress voted to kill funding after only a year. Since then, Jill Tarter and most of the SETI scientists have relied on private donations.
TWA 517, do you want to report a UFO? Over. WA 517, do you want to report a UFO? Over.
Attention from Hollywood and the public's obsession with UFOs have helped in a lot of ways, but hurt in others.
Many people think that what we do is of the same ilk, if you will, as the pseudoscience claims and the UFO claims, and they don't distinguish us. And that reduces our credibility and reduces our ability to get support and to get the respect we deserve.
Although much of the public's interest has been fueled by our appetite for science fiction, the search for ET intelligence is real science. Recent discoveries in other areas of astronomy, as well as biology and physics, make the possibility of alien life more likely than ever before. If ET is out there, the odds are better than ever that we'll find him.